Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been paying any attention to the tech landscape lately, you already know the demand for data skills in 2026 is absolutely skyrocketing. I mean, think about it. Over 90% of the entire world's data was generated in just the last few years alone. Companies are sitting on an absolute goldmine of information, but they're desperately looking for people who can actually make sense of it all. So today, we're breaking down the definitive 24-week architectural blueprint to take you from an absolute beginner to a highly skilled hired data professional. We're cutting out all the fluff and giving you the exact roadmap to mastery. Let's get into it. To make this completely manageable, we're breaking this daunting 24-week journey into 5 highly actionable phases. We've got the foundation, mastering core tools, bringing data to life, building real-world projects, and finally, landing your first job. Think of this overarching timeline as your personal syllabus. We've deliberately chunked this 24-week journey into distinct eras of skill building. You'll spend a solid chunk of time on core tools right in the middle. But notice how we reserve an entire month at the end strictly for real projects, and then another full month just for job prep. That pacing? It's totally by design.
All right, let's kick things off with Phase 1, the Data Analytics Foundation. Before you even touch a piece of software, we really need to define what a data analyst actually does, just to set our baseline. A data analyst isn't just a spreadsheet jockey. You are a professional who examines raw data to find actual, actionable meaning. Whether you're cleaning, analyzing, or visualizing information, your ultimate goal, your only real goal, is to drive smart business decisions. Honestly, if you aren't helping the business make a decision, you aren't really doing analytics. Now, as you grow in your career, the analysis you do is going to evolve through 4 very distinct stages. You always start with descriptive analytics, essentially, what happened. Then you move deeper into diagnostic. Why did it happen? After that comes predictive, what's likely to happen in the future. And finally, you reach the absolute holy grail, prescriptive analytics, meaning how should we react and what specific actions should we take right now. For these first 3 weeks, your weapon of choice is going to be Excel. It is the undisputed grandfather of data tools, and trust me, it is still entirely relevant today. You're going to spend these early weeks getting really comfortable with basic formulas, if statements, and those incredibly powerful VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP functions. You'll be mastering pivot tables, conditional formatting, and absolutely vital data cleaning techniques. The best way to learn? Practice these on real-world sales reports and expense tracking to build up your confidence right out of the gate.
Moving right along to Phase 2, spanning weeks 4 through 12, mastering your core tools. The crucial thing here is knowing your tool belt inside and out. Category by category, you simply have to conquer this essential tech stack. We're talking Excel for spreadsheets, MySQL and Postgres for your databases, Python for programming, Jupyter for running your notebooks, Power BI and Tableau for visualizing everything, and finally, Git and GitHub for version control. Make no mistake, this is the modern 2026 tech stack you absolutely must internalize. So weeks 4 through 6 are dedicated entirely to SQL mastery. SQL is quite literally how you talk to databases. You're going to move fast from the basic select and where clauses straight into the heavy lifters, joins, subqueries, common table expressions, or CTEs, and window functions. You'll practice writing queries to uncover top-selling products, analyze monthly revenue, and segment out customers using real-feeling databases like Netflix and big e-commerce platforms. If you want to drill these skills until they're second nature, you'll want to practically live on platforms like LeetCode SQL and HackerRank for these 3 weeks. Then, in weeks 7 through 10, we tackle Python. Sure, you'll learn the basics like variables and loops, but the real magic comes from Python's libraries. You'll learn NumPy for numerical operations and Pandas, which is no joke, absolutely critical for data manipulation, cleaning, and group by functions. From there, you'll use Matplotlib and Seaborn to actually visualize that data with beautiful heat maps and scatter plots. The secret cheat code here? Study Kaggle notebooks and rely heavily on the Pandas documentation as you try analyzing stuff like COVID trends or IPL data. To wrap up this core tools section in weeks 11 and 12, we hit statistics. Now don't let the math scare you away. You aren't calculating the trajectory of a rocket ship here. The goal is simple. You just need to understand how data behaves. You've got to grasp concepts like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and variance. We'll also look at probability and hypothesis testing. Really understanding these concepts ensures you aren't just blindly pushing buttons, but actually comprehending the story the numbers are trying to tell you. As we step into Phase 3, weeks 13 through 15, our focus shifts to bringing data to life. This is where you learn industry-leading business intelligence tools like Power BI or Tableau. This is the fun part. It's where you take massive, dense tables of numbers and turn them into beautiful, actionable stories. You'll learn how to import and clean data right inside these tools, establish complex data relationships, and dive into DAX basics. You'll be building fully functional dashboards complete with KPI cards, interactive filters, and slicers. I highly recommend focusing on building high-level sales, finance, and HR dashboards. Oh, and definitely utilize free resources like Tableau Public or Power BI tutorials to see what the top-tier analysts in the industry are building right now.
Now, here is a vital concept to internalize. It's not just about knowing which buttons to click in the software. It's about mastering the underlying visualization principles. I mean, anyone can make a pie chart, right? But choosing the exact correct chart for a specific data set is a true skill. You really need to focus on storytelling, intuitive dashboard design, and how to effectively track business KPIs so that your stakeholders immediately understand the business impact without needing a translation.
Welcome to Phase 4, Weeks 16 to 20, Building Real-World Projects.
Okay, I need you to lean in and really listen to this part because it is literally the most important takeaway of the entire explainer. Do not spend months only watching tutorials. Seriously, that is what we call tutorial purgatory, and it's a trap. To survive and actually retain what you're learning, you must follow this exact loop. Learn a concept, practice it immediately. Build a mini project around it. Add that project to your portfolio, and repeat. That's it. That's the secret.
Over these 5 weeks, you are going to build a progressively harder and harder portfolio. Start off with beginner projects like analyzing student performance or Netflix datasets, which, by the way, you can easily pull from Kaggle, data.gov, or Google Dataset Search. Then step it up to intermediate projects like predicting customer churn or building out a sales forecast dashboard. Finally, you tackle the advanced stuff, an end-to-end business dashboard, a real-time analytics dashboard, or maybe a deep dive marketing campaign analysis. Showing this kind of progression over time is incredibly attractive to employers.
Let's talk about how to actually fit all of this into your daily life. To maintain your momentum, lock in this recommended daily routine. It perfectly balances your tool practice, your theory, and your project building. We're talking 1 hour dedicated to SQL, 1 hour for Python, then 30 minutes each for visualization and statistics theory, capped off with 1 full hour of dedicated project work. I know, it sounds intense, but establishing this structured daily habit is the absolute secret sauce to mastery.
Finally, we've reached the final stretch. Phase 5, Weeks 21 to 24, landing your first job.
Let's get real and compare exactly what companies expect from freshers, just so you know exactly where to focus your energy. Notice that rock-solid SQL, Excel, basic Python, dashboard understanding, and, crucially, communication skills are your absolute must-haves. You need those. The bonus skills, the things that will really make you stand out from the pack, are advanced Power BI or Tableau proficiency, a really well-documented GitHub portfolio, and a deep, genuine understanding of business context.
During this final month, you're going to drill very specific interview domains to pass those dreaded technical screens. For SQL, expect heavy, complex questions on joins and window functions. For Python, be ready to manipulate data live using Pandas. In statistics, you absolutely must be able to clearly explain the difference between correlation and causation. And be prepared for live case studies. An interviewer might ask you point blank how you would investigate a sudden revenue decline or a massive drop in product performance.
Next up, we package you up for the market. Your resume has to highlight not just the tools you know, but the actual business insights you've generated through your projects. And this needs to be backed up by a GitHub profile that's absolutely full of your SQL files and Jupyter notebooks. Furthermore, get active on LinkedIn. Don't just lurk in the background. Post your dashboards, share the cool insights you found in your mini projects, and document your learning progress in public. People love to see that journey.
As we wrap up this blueprint, I want to leave you with some final advice. Listen, a messy, challenging, real-world project that you struggled through and actually learned from, that is worth 10 perfect, pristine online certificates to a hiring manager any day of the week. Consistency and tangible proof of your abilities matter so much more than a piece of digital paper. Avoid tutorial purgatory, get your hands dirty with real, messy data sets, and stick to that daily routine we talked about.
We have covered a massive amount of ground today, but you now have it. The ultimate, structured, architectural blueprint for the next 24 weeks of your life. The demand is absolutely there, the tools are completely accessible, and the path is crystal clear. So the only question left is, what data story are you going to tell in 2026?